Welcome to Business Highlights TV. Hi, I'm Scott Roaming and I'm here with Beth Strathman from Firebrand Consulting. Now, Beth cultivates the best in others. She constantly shows business leaders how to look at themselves and their leadership from new perspectives and gives them the confidence to move forward. Through her consulting, one can achieve outstanding leadership. Beth is also the host of the podcast Lead Like Nobody's Business, and that's available on iTunes. Hi, Beth. How are you today?
Hi, Scott. Good to be here.
Wonderful to have you. So you mentioned backstage that you have an undeniable desire to challenge people to be better. Can you explain that to me?
Well, throughout all of my career, I've cultivated the best in others, as you mentioned before. I started out as an elementary school teacher, working with the little ones. And then I moved into human resources, and now I do executive coaching. So I've always been there as people are developing from point A to point B.
Okay, and so you've also said that you like to move and show business people how to become business leaders. So what does a business leader look like to you?
Well, when I think about that, I'm reminded of a quote by Zig Ziglar, and he said, "You don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business." So when I think of a business person, I'm thinking of someone who understands all the technical aspects of running a business, from marketing, sales, operations, finance. They understand all the nuts and bolts. But when you become a business leader, not only do you have an adequate understanding of all those nuts and bolts, but you also now understand all the people dynamics, whether it's one-on-one interpersonal interactions or it's managing a whole group and understanding how a group dynamic can come about and how you can really harness that to take your company forward.
Okay. So what's the most common thing your clients need or ask you for?
Well, a lot of times people are coming to me because they're overworked, and they are running 1,000 miles a minute every day, busy, busy, busy. But when they finally shut down their laptop, shut off their phones at the end of a very long day, they look back and they feel like they haven't accomplished a thing. And so really it's stepping into that role as business leader and figuring out where you need to focus your time and your energy so that you can help your people move your business forward.
Okay. So for some people, including myself, getting feedback can be difficult sometimes. How do you teach people or business leaders to receive feedback without, getting defensive? How do you teach that?
Yeah, one of the big tricks there is you do have to learn how to set your ego aside. And I say that at the same time where you do have to recognize that you have a lot of power already. Nobody's going to just knock you off your pedestal. So just be secure in the fact that you are the leader and that this person who's coming to you with feedback has a good intention. The feedback might be a little awkward, it's not coming across correctly or a way that feels good to you. But just be there, think about the good intention that the person has for you, and then thank them for the feedback. You don't need to respond in any way, shape, or form. And then consider it. You don't have to take it. You can decide, you know what, I don't think that feedback's valid, I'm just going to let it lie there. Or, maybe there's a point there that I can, glom onto and move forward with.
Yeah, they may not have a total picture of the whole situation. Okay. Right. So how does a leader get better at communicating?
Well, at communicating, a big part of communicating is listening. And so I think the first thing to do is to realize that, again, when people are talking to you, you do have to pay attention to the words. There's some content there that might be really good for you to listen to. But I think more importantly, it's the underlying emotion or the underlying intention or commitment that person has. Because to be a good listener, we're taught from the time we're little to understand the issue and argue your perspective. But really, that's not being a good listener. You've got to quit trying to be right, focus on that other person, and really, when you validate that underlying emotion or that underlying commitment that they have, you'll see the look on their face that says, yes, you finally get me. Because they're not really there to talk to you about the content per se. It's really, they want some other kind of validation underneath.
All right. So now how does a leader improve or create harmony and collaboration in a company?
Yeah, so this goes back again to this idea that you are helping people to build your business. And if you want harmony and collaboration in your company, you've got to be the role model for harmony and collaboration. So you yourself have to be reaching out and collaborating throughout your company, whether you're the CEO or you're in charge of just one area of the company. And that's really critical then too for the senior team to model that collaboration and harmony that they want to see. And at bottom of all of this is really, it often comes down to your company values. You have to walk the talk, emulate those values for your company, all the employees in your company, and then also role model that collaborative way of working together that you want to see and create that culture.
Okay. And getting back to communication, how does a leader improve communication in his company or her company?
Right. Well, that's a big thing. Every company you've probably ever been involved with, I know it's true for me, people always say, they just don't communicate with us. And the leaders always think, gosh, we're communicating all the time, right? Well, you just have to keep communicating. First of all, you do have to have a message that you're very, very mindful at cultivating a message that you want to go out. And then keep making sure that message goes out, whether it's a message about where your company is going in the next 12 to 18 months, it's a message about how you treat customers, whatever it is, you've got to keep reinforcing that message and creating stories around it, having ways to build systems that you can deliver messages throughout your company. And by that I mean maybe you have video present, maybe the CEO is on a video presenting to employees worldwide. Maybe there are monthly lunches where he or she meets with a particular group of employees. Maybe they make a point of traveling around to different locations so they can be in touch with employees. But they really have to have that message and then create systems for getting that message out regularly.
Okay. Well, Beth, this is fantastic information for anybody in a leadership position. How can someone get a hold of you if they want to consult with you?
Well, they can find my website, which is firebrandconsultingllc.com, and they can go there. They can see some other information there about what I do and also contact me through a contact form there.
Okay. And what was that website again?
firebrandconsultingllc.com.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the insight. That was great.
Thanks, Scott.